This one I titled TSF. It's too tall. It's too strong. It's fortified with moments and memories that made you feel unpretty. To want is to possess desire, and we can't have that because you may come off needy. Be hard, don't let him see what you want your reality to be. Be hard because the independent woman is what he needs to see. Until Fearless knocks on your door. See, Fearless called your bluff when you were hell-bent that love didn't live there anymore. Fearless challenged you with a level of motivation that engulfed you to see farther than you thought you could. His ambition transformed your world into something so beautiful. Fearless wanted you to fear less, be spontaneous, and give it a try. Before you had time to process it, Fearless was there going in full stride, and what was once tall, strong, and fortified was disappearing, and there you were, scared. So fear swept in and said, Fearless can't stay. Nothing can tear this down, your reality can't change. So you began to fight. After all, fighting is how you built tall, strong, and fortified, so fighting is essential for you to survive. So fight was a must, to put your comfort zone back intact because you're a boss, and bosses fight back. It was strong, tall, and fortified. Fearless came in, guns blazing, because Fearless wanted to give something that you weren't unable to give yourself. A fighting chance. An opportunity to not only be the one who sees into your heart, no longer to build up or tear down, but to restore your foundation, to be loved and turn your reality into something more than a sensation. Tall, strong, and fortified, took on rare form and truth that surely you thought you'd never face. That you are, flaws and all, truly worth it, and you're not a form of lost cause. Fearless took on and became tall, strong, and fortified, to stop your pause. With a fight so strong, passionate and tender, believing in you, not because of you, but for you. Thank you. So I go by the name Belle. My government name is Alicia. I'm having issues with my last name, but I'm trying to change that. So, I'm trying to change that. I grew up with the last name from my mother's husband, but it wasn't my father. And even though I knew that, I had a really hard time accepting my last name. And so I went through years of not wanting this last name. I married thinking that I would find identity in that last name, and that didn't quite work out. So I'm actually in the process of going through the legal paperwork to get my father's last name. So then I won't have identity issues. This one is called My Butt of Hearts. My heart wants to rip, but it's not ripping. Shatter like falling glass into 1,000,001 pieces. My heart hurts, but I really don't know why. It's been suffocated and beaten to no end. Who wrapped my heart with concertina and closed off the valves to keep me from breathing? I looked around for the culprit to pin the ache in my heart that I keep feeling. But to my surprise, no one was there. And I realized who I thought was there was only a reflection of myself, morphed into my alter ego. The one that is dark and wounded and unafraid to let go. Of the shoulda, woulda, couldas, and what ifs of life. I had induced myself with too much strife. My heart needs relief, it's suffocating. My heart needs relief, it's too painstaking. The moment of release, when enough is enough. What will I do? This road is rough. Release seems simple and only right, but there's something about the pain that makes it feel deserved, so I won't fight. To what end will I go to torture my heart with unnecessary pain of thoughts running wild in my brain? Remove the concertina, but make sure you use gloves. All those holes, but yet no plugs. Pick up the pieces, but don't use a broom. This requires delicate hands, not a single sweep, and we're through. Reluctantly, I remove the constraints from my heart. but it doesn't remove the fear because, see, that's another part. My fear is real and I live it every day. To not be loved for the person you see, all of that feels superficial until you really know me. What happens then? Only time will tell. Am I willing to go another round and trust that this time it will be valued and treasured? I guess I have to, because only time will tell. So here it is, my heart, torn, beaten, and bruised, ready to go another round, so bitterness will lose. Thank you. I just moved to Columbia in August, and the funniest thing is that I have a horrible sense of direction. I was so happy when I found Two Notch Road and did not realize that Two Notch Road was all of Columbia. So that was like a huge achievement for me. I was like, I found Two Notch Road. They were like, everybody finds Two Notch Road. I have 3 children. I have a 17-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 13-year-old. And I did call them out in order because I had 2 girls and a boy. And his name is just Boy, because he's the only boy in the house. So those are my 3 heartbeats. And then I have a 4th one. I have a goddaughter. And she is super proud of her auntie mommy. That's my name. So everything that I do, every piece that I write comes from something that has happened to me. I get offended easily. But instead of going out and having the wrong conversation or the wrong fight, I put it into my poetry and it gives me the opportunity to process it. And so every piece that I write are pieces of my heart, pieces of my life, events, moments, memories that have happened. So this one here, just to give you a background, I have been doing CrossFit. Does everybody know what CrossFit is? Usually they call it the crazy people stuff that nobody likes to do. But I do CrossFit and I've been doing it since June. I am doing very well in CrossFit. I currently have a personal record of 305 pounds in deadlift. And I am benching about 155. So I'm doing the thing. Is that all right? I'm doing the thing. Thank you. And so my biggest accomplishment thus far was trying to commit to being upside down doing a handstand. I like it. I would curl up on the wall. I wouldn't put my feet up all the way. Everything you name it, I would not do this handstand. And so the person that was teaching me how to do this handstand left. And it wasn't until she left that I finally committed and said, you know what, I'm going to do this. Now, I'm all over the place doing handstands. Like, you can't, I'm like, oh, I'll do a handstand over here. We're in the middle of the store, I'll do a handstand. Like, I see this guy do a handstand going up an escalator. Y'all, that is my goal. Okay. So, this particular time, I did a handstand, and I did it inside an IHOP. Y'all, it was great. It was great. And so, I was talking with a friend of mine, and I said, oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe what I did. I did a handstand at IHOP. He said, are you serious? I would never allow that. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. Didn't know I needed your permission. And so I had to take the opportunity to explore that. And so that's what this piece is. And again, it's titled Handstand. I did a handstand in IHOP. It was amazing. But when I told you, you judged me before you understood me. I would never allow that to came from your shallow lips. With your mind closed and your mouth open, you continue to condemn me, not taking the time to conceptualize what motivated me. See, I have a daughter and she just turned 17, and she's at a point where she's trying to understand what loyalty and unconditional means. I tried to explain it to her, but it wasn't clicking. Her understanding of unconditional, she kept miscalculating. what she would do and be for her so-called friends, but in favor they would never return. So I gave her a glimpse of loyalty and unconditional with the thought in mind that when she meets this world, confusion doesn't rob her blind. Loyalty means being upside down when nothing makes sense, like doing a handstand in IHOP, but I still celebrate you. Loyalty says no matter who sees me and I may look like a fool, I'll do it because you, my love, matter to me. Unconditional looks like conquering the fear of being upside down but not giving up on it, because when you see it through, it will be glorious. Unconditional feels like pressing warm hands against a cold floor and pushing up, never giving up, because even upside down, you will stand tall. From core to extremity, I will uphold her. From her soul to my hands, I will uplift her. From my heart to her feet, her posture upstanding. So when she uprises empowered, upright, not staggered, uplifted to rise higher, she will have a vivid picture of loyalty and unconditional, and she'll smile thereafter. So yes, I did it. A handstand in IHOP. Thank you. In Virginia, and I came at a crossroads in my life. I was making some major decisions, didn't really know how I wanted to move. And so I called some people who are near and dear to my heart, my mother to be one of them. That's my chick, I love her so much. And I wanted to be heard. I didn't want somebody to respond to me. I just wanted to be heard, just listen to my heart. And every time I would try to have that conversation, it turned into the classic, well, you know what you need to do. Well, maybe you should do this. Well, how about you do it this way? It was never me being heard. Everyone was listening to respond, not listening to understand. And so I got a little frustrated. I hopped in my car. I drove to DC, went by and seen Martin Luther King over at the monuments. And then I walked across the street over to the Potomac, and I sat down by the river and I wrote this poem. I'm graduating from public opinion. To care is a risk of being hurt, in which at that point you don't care at all, that what you say affects me because I gave you real estate in my life when I decided to care at all. My thoughts are loud, they scream at me. You did it again. You should have been cautious. You should listen because they know what's best. Waves of disappointment, all because I took the diploma, signed, public opinion. Thank you for your care and concern, and while my very being wants to care less, it's not who I am, so I'm giving my diploma back, relinquishing ownership because you will never be brave enough to walk in my shoes. With a tear-streaked face, transferring from fear to fate, my possibilities are endless because I'm graduating from public opinion. Thank you. So if y'all laugh, I don't take it seriously because I don't know how to tell jokes. I'm horrible at it. I'm that person that you tell a joke and I'll be like, I'll call you 2 days later. Oh, I totally got what you said. That was so funny. Like, I'm horrible. That true story. I am just horrible. But I'm natural. I love being natural. I actually got my hair done. This is like my 3rd sewing ever in life. And I did it for a character that I'm playing. I'll be in a stage play next week called Don't Call Me Brother. It is an amazing play. The people out there are amazing. The characters are amazing. Everybody, it is really good. It's going to be going from the 15th to the 31st. So if you get a chance, come on through and check us out. But as I was preparing for this role, I was out shopping, and you know how they have the kiosks in the mall, and you always have the one that's selling the flat irons, right? So I'm walking by, my hair is curly, it's on top of my head. I love my natural curls, I love them. And the young lady, she comes out, and she's holding the flat irons and she's clipping them. She says, oh, come here, let me show you something. And I said, I know this help to see that my hair is natural. like, you're not going to take one piece of my hair and just straighten it out and think that I'm going to be okay with that. Like, it was funny. But I had to catch myself because I don't have a poker face. Like, yeah, y'all should see me in a meeting. Let somebody say something wrong. Chief, is there a problem? Oh, yes, I'm glad that you asked, thank you. So my poker face kind of gave way to the fact that she should not have asked me that, did I want to test her product or buy her product. So that's what this next poem is about. It is rightfully titled Flat Iron. This chick came at me with a flat iron. We almost had a different conversation. Can I show you something? She said. Utter disgust was the look on my face that she read. My curls define me. They represent my attitude, charisma, character, and swag. I, no longer a slave to straight tresses, the creamy crack or burned edges. I no longer fear what I look like underneath. The lies and deceit sold to me in an attempt to change my identity. My attitude is curly, my charisma kinky, my character coily, my swag is wavy. Straight is conformity like white picket fences in cookie-cut neighborhoods. I'm more like the condo 20 stories high looking over your neighborhood. All I heard was, do I want to look like you? A question barely above a challenge and just below ambition. When selling dreams of acceptance in the form of ceramic plates charged with heat is the message. I'll choose to embrace my beauty, unfiltered and flawed, before I try to dress it up in the form of your fairy tale that says I shouldn't be accepted at all. Thank you, no thank you. I'll keep my curls. And the next time you try to enslave my potential, I'll comfort you like a bad influence with good intentions. You're welcome. Y'all don't take me in public. I'm a hot mess. So I will do one more. This particular poem, I never thought that I would do this poem in an open forum. My sisters and I, we talk every day. My sisters are the type of sisters I can have those real, raw, uncut, tears running, no snot conversations, and no matter how much I cry, because I cry over adjectives, adverbs, nouns, parentheses, semicolons, I just cry. And they will push past all of that and say, I'm gonna give it to you 100. And so we were having a conversation, and in this conversation, my sister says, sis, I love you, but you don't sound like you're being true to yourself. In 1 minute you're saying this, and in the next minute you're saying that. She says, please know I will never judge you, but I need you to keep it 100 with me. And at the time, I was trying to figure out what I wanted as I struggled with this wonderful journey called singleness. Yeah. Ooh, it's rough. But out of that conversation with my sisters, being able to have that raw and uncut moment with my sisters, came my conclusion of that conversation, and I titled it Inevitable Relationship. I said it. Me minus a relationship is inevitable. It was barely above a whisper, but I said it. My heart was pounding loud. Maybe you missed it. It could have been my thoughts. They're more mystic. My breathing went sporadic. My mind went to Venus, cascaded by Mars, and landed somewhere between trying to put a ring on it. Cuffed, I am not scuffed, but I am caught up between a shot, a rock, and a hard place. Can you pour me a drink? I'm scared and scarred, and my heart is charred. The pit in my stomach, there's no coming back from it. The bottomless pit evolved into a pitfall of doubt and unbelief that unveiled itself into a pitiful daydream of prolific pistols crushing through my innermost walls like harmonious minstrels. I'm drowning, sinking, and bleeding out simultaneously. Someone please come help me. Because I know if and when I do this again, I will lose. Help me, don't save me. It doesn't work. I'm reckless and careless, don't sugarcoat it or finesse it. I'm a mess, and see, you don't save a mess, you help a mess. Because once a mess is a mess, saving it is foreseeing it with hopes of changing the improbable. Help my mess, I whispered the inevitable. Regardless if I scream from the rooftop or it's barely heard over the thunderous beating of my heart, I need you to pull a Usain and bolt past my premonition. Don't change my precondition, just know it's my deepest condition. Understand me without accepting me, because this current me contradicts me. Please be quiet. You too will hear past the waves of my crushing heart, crashing the shores of my reality. I'm past saving. Just help me. Thank you.